It's indeed a pleasure talking to you today morning on AI. I understand in the last 1.5 days, a lot of discussion has happened on AI and its potential. In a nutshell, I think we've all understood that AI is becoming mainstream. It is already influencing our lives through a multitude of apps which we use every day, and a lot of new devices, including cars, it has started embedding into it. Realizing the potential of AI and the kind of role it will play as we move forward, NIC has set up Center of Excellence on Artificial Intelligence way back in 2019. And the focus of this center was first is that to explore the application of AI in the domain of governance specifically, to explore what could be the possible uses, create pilots out of it, and then hand it over to departments to roll it out. Also, as some of these models starts getting used by multiple people, develop a generic product out of it and offer it AI as a service kind of a thing to be used by a large number of government institutions in India, as well as in central government, as well as state governments and even districts for that matter. When we talk of AI governance, we have been primarily focusing on 3-4 themes. One has been how can AI be used in functioning of the government to help increase its efficiency, to help or support decision making through data-driven insights? How can AI be used to enhance quality of government digital services as we move forward? Third, how AI can be used to reduce waste and detection and prevention of fraud? How blockchain can be used to increase trust in the documents issued by government and the supply chains at the same time? And last, but perhaps to me the most critical is how do we really make digital services more inclusive using AI and other emerging technologies? And I'm very happy and glad to tell you is that this Center of Excellence has been working very hard with various departments. Not only they have been able to create and identify applications, create pilots, we have been also able to roll out some of these pilots into certain geographies in India, and a couple of applications have been rolled out even at the national scale. Let me just give you some example. We begin with our first application sometime, I think 2019, we had launched for Swachh Bharat Urban. Wherein, what happened, what we saw that normally when an application comes and there are certain guidelines and officers or the officials have to check whether the photograph which they have given is of this specification, whether these objects are there into those things or no. And more often we found there were repeated returns of the rejections of these applications because people who were applying were not really clear or were not that IT savvy to be able to submit those images in complying with those specifications. So we applied a bit of a logic there, but more importantly, object detection technology there to be switched so that when the applicant is applying, right at that time it tells that your photograph which you are submitting is as per the specifications. And right there itself it kind of rejects, so person knows what, and also guides how do you really have the correct picture. So that the total turnaround of getting funds or subsidy for housing and the whole process has really got fastened, and the effort the government officials also screening these applications has come down, because now when they open the form, it automatically tells them that this is where there is a non-compliance. So it kind of gets into efficiency. Then we also came with a generic product which we yet officially launched, has been used in beta format, which is called Verify ID. Because if you see most of the government applications, there are around 15 to 20 government IDs, ration card, Aadhaar card, your passport, then your election ID and your education certificate. These are things which you time and again apply for applying to any government service. And every time you scan that copy and upload it. So, and then the officer concerned, there has to really open up and see whether the right documents have been given or no. So there we have this verify ID, which is this platform. This is the kind of a platform already trained about 12 to 15 government IDs. So supposing if you will give Aadhaar, it will automatically submit your Aadhaar photocopy scanned image. It will detect from there all the details, your name, gender, date of birth, whatever is given, and can pre-populate in that form. So it can pre-populate into this thing, so it could be used that way. Automatically, what it can do, supposing applicant has submitted his details, also given this card, it can extract information from that card, and in the two windows, it can show what is that applicant has given and what is that the ID data is showing. And all this makes, if you see in terms of types and the clicks which officer has to do while trying to verify these things, it really gets reduced to a great extent, and kind of not only brings efficiency, also brings convenience on the part of the citizen, or because these applications come from even primary school students for applying for scholarships, going on to applying for housing, and then MG candidates applying for job and subsidy. This is a generic platform, therefore we rolled out. It can be used by any, it's open to be used by any government application, open as a state or center, and open as a, and it will be available as a service. Even if you want to use it as a beta, it's already available for you to use. So with this, now what we're thinking, let us come up with a generic automatic government forms and documents reading system. And I feel if we roll it out, we can really, in all those, applications where these businesses who are applying for clearances while setting up a business, and ease of doing business has been always one of the important mandate, and Honorable Prime Minister has also highlighted it in many platforms. And if and with this kind of system, if it gets embedded into all these systems which are involved in the ease of doing business or giving clearances for setting up a business, we can not only bring efficiency, we can also somewhere indirectly help in growth of our economy, because it cause a lot of inconvenience to the applicants who are trying to establish business in India. Second aspect, which we said, how can AI be used for enhancing quality of government digital services? Very recently, Delhi government has closed, many of you will know, has closed most of their RTOs, because now they have decided that only for 2 services you need to come to our RTO. All other services are faceless, including your learner's license. And that is where we have developed a model and complete solution for them, where the applicant sitting at home using our proctoring solution and our face recognition system and face verification system can give his test from comfort of his home, and all actions are being monitored, and his learner license is being given. Already Delhi and now I think Assam and is already using. A couple of more states are in the process of testing and now what we are now trying to do is generate into an e-learner's license kind of a platform so that any government, state government could use it. Similarly, for driving license renewal, again, it kind of does your face verification, identification, and face verification, and this is that your driving license renewal can happen. You need not really go to this thing. So here the effort has been, how do you make life simpler for citizens? The need for going to government offices, which is often a concern and raised by many citizens on various platforms, can really be reduced to a great extent. Another application which we did, which is life certificate for pensioners. This is our platform was Jeevan Praman, where the pensioners had to go some nearby government this thing or CSC, where using the fingerprint they were submitting their life certificate. So that, but their need for going to their parent bank was eliminated. Now we have taken it one notch higher. We've now released a mobile app which is released last week only. In this, it uses face verification technology, and what it basically does is you just go, it scans your face, it checks it with your copy in the Aadhaar, and it also checks your liveness detection at the same time. And this whole module has been now, so now need for pensioners to even go to any of the nearby office has also been eliminated, sitting in the comfort of their home. Only thing, of course, they need is a smartphone to be able to, smartphone with a camera to be able to do that. in Meghalaya and Mizoram, since they did not have 100% Aadhaar, so they were not able to use this technology. So there we have developed a separate model which is doing the face matching through the photographs in their records, and a lot more work had to be done to clean those photographs, and it is also successfully working. In fact, it was launched during COVID times for the pensioners in Mizoram and Meghalaya. Using the same technology, we have a platform called Khoya Paya, which is basically tracking the missing children. And therein again this face image technology, where the photograph of the children who are missing to the database, children who have been found somewhere is kind of match. And I have been told that over 2,500 children we could match using this limited database and help those children reach home. Mobile-based attendance is another system which we did, wherein not only we are doing verification, but we are also doing geofencing to be able to really, and it was especially in many of the skill universities and skill centers, it was found very effective to be able to take attendance onto it. We've also done some area in the work of health, but we could not, like we did X-ray based detection of early detection of COVID. But we've also developed a model called X-ray based chest X-ray based detection of tuberculosis or getting the abnormality, but these are still not at a level where this could be rolled out. We need to perfect, but what we are really waiting a lot more, because AI data is something, and a good quality data is something which plays an important role. So we are kind of working with various organizations in partnership to see that how do we get this data, particularly in the case of tuberculosis, because that's one of the national programs we have in the government. Third aspect was how can we use AI for reducing waste and fraud detection. So in Karnataka, we have used this technology of prediction because government procures a lot of drugs from time to time to be distributed in its various hospitals, and we had last 5 to 10, I think more than 10 years data of this procurement. So there we have used all these analytics to identify that how much which drug will be required in the time to come, taking care of the season, taking care of all other parameters, so that otherwise, if you just blindly ask for all the drugs, a lot of these drugs gets expired because they have a limited this thing, and then lot waste happens. So that is really helping that way to be able to cut down that waste. Also, we have a national scholarship portal, where in single portal, students from primary class to secondary to going forward to higher education are applying for scholarships, and scholarships of all 28 departments of the government, central government, and some state governments are being done through a single form which child has to fill, basis eligibility and all. The particular scholarship is being recommended for him. Since it was a national system, it involved a lot of money also. Every year we used to have, few court cases somewhere, someone has found some innovative way of breaching into the system and all. And so what we do during this COVID time, since we had some time, we team actually list down how are the different ways people have exploited these systems, and then develop this fraud analytics module now, which works on a real-time basis and kind of give a dashboard to every secretary or the nodal officer in the ministry who is handling the scholarships. He can get to know that these are the places we feel. I mean, it is basically behavior based. It is basically, supposing person is living at some place, he's studying at second place, but applying for a bank in the third place. A lot of applications coming from one particular geography, maybe more applications than what the school. And we could also do this because not only we could do the analytics within scholarship system, we could also connect this system through our API gateways to the other digital systems in education. We have a complete school repository where we have information that this school has how many children enrolled in which class, and what is the composition of girls and boys. So using all this variety of information, and this year we have rolled out, and I'm really hoping that this will have far less cases of various court cases and all those concerns which come. And I think if this becomes successful and as we mature, there are a lot of government programs where huge amount of subsidies being distributed, whether it is PFMS, PDS, it can actually then the model be applied onto it, but it is far from there. We have to mature it to be able to apply into this thing. Lastly, blockchain. Blockchain, we have for CBSE, we have introduced the certificate chain for class 10 and class 12 certificates. We have now written to all state governments because to this also, being an IC, we have an advantage of infrastructure and being associated with our 800 offices with district administrations as well as with state governments. So we have offered it now certificate chain as a service. So any government entity which is issuing any kind of certificates can leverage this service and kind of build their own certificate chain. Lastly, which I said is very critical and I think is very important, and this is where AI can do the true social empowerment, or AI can do things which were not possible through the existing technologies. A lot of things, and this is where I really feel a lot has to be done. And what we have we have done in this is, one is that we have during this COVID time, because government offices were not directly available to citizens, so we have built whole lot of chatbots and voice bots during this time into different languages, including Khasi language of Meghalaya and things like this has been done. There's a lot more need to be done, but I think what we all need to work is toward building voice interfaces to all government applications. Because see, please keep in mind, now we still have around 20 or rather 30 to 40 crore people in India who do not have smartphone, but the way government is doing and our ministry is particularly focusing on Make in India kind of efforts, you will have mobile affordable phones, and with kind of as Prime Minister has announced 600,000 villages to be covered with fiber, you will have more and more people connecting to this digital ecosystem. This last set of people, 20 to 30 crore, who should be, I should say, a bottom of the whole pyramid. These people will be really have challenge of language, challenge of literacy, challenge of technology, not having such state of art or which mobile phones with all those kinds of features as I and you may usually be able to possess. So how do you now build applications? In a way, so one of the way you could really do is if you could do voice-based interfaces. So the literacy, language challenges could be easily overcome. How do you build a new kind of user experience? Not the experience which I and you have, because which is for the urban people we do. We need to really think of the whole user experience. How do we design? And of course, a lot of AI has to be done into this. And I think with AI and language technologies, we can really do wonders here. I like to close by saying that AI has immense possibilities. AI has a huge potential, and a lot of work is being done from this thing. But it also needs a lot of research, innovation, skilled personnel, and regulatory support. And therefore, to really change the lives of people at the bottom of the pyramid, all of us, we in government, industry, startups, and academia have to work together to make this change happen. Thank you.